but not least, we got an interesting story involving this. I don't know what genre she makes music in. I've heard some of her songs, but I don't know how you classify her
Mhm.
genre. But this woman on the overlay goes by the name of Tyla.
Mhm.
She's from South Africa, right?
Yeah.
I think she's originally from South Africa, and she's just illuminating people on how she views herself when it comes to like her ethnicity and how she identifies herself. So this is an interesting conversation. This says Tyler on identifying as a black and colored woman. You can be both. Tyler has once again addressed the controversy surrounding her identity. You know that even if you give the best explanation, people will still choose to not understand, the 23-year-old told British Vogue. But I'm at a point where I know who I am. I know I'm a black woman and I know I'm a colored woman as well. And you can be both. And the people that care to learn, they understand now. And that's enough for me. The way the South African singer views her racial background has been called into question before. In a TikTok video from 2020, before her rise to stardom, she shared that she self-identifies as a colored South African, explaining that she comes from a lot of different cultures. Tyler's use of the word colored sparked intense debate online, particularly in the US, where the word is seen as a slur.
Hmm.
However, it is an officially recognized identity in South Africa. The topic of Tyler's racial identity came up again during an appearance on The Breakfast Club last June, where Charlemagne the God asked her to explain what it means to be a South African colored person. While Tyler evaded the question during her interview, she later addressed it on X. Never denied my blackness. I don't know where that came from, she wrote. I'm mixed with black, Zulu, Irish, uh, Mauritian, Indian, and colored. Tyler went on to explain that she's viewed as a colored woman in South Africa, and in other places she's seen as a black woman. I don't expect to be identified as colored outside of Southa by anyone not comfortable doing so because I understand the weight of that word outside of South Africa. But close to this conversation, I'm both colored in South Africa and a black woman. So there you go. Miss Tyler here is setting the record straight. She views herself both as a colored woman and as a black woman. It just seems to be a nationality distinction, as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
But what do you make of what she had to say there?
I really don't see. I mean, I agree with her statement there. I feel like she can be both, and I'm really trying to figure out why people are up in arms in the first place when they go around here calling themselves colored around here. Uh, as a colored woman as a colored woman working for Target, as a colored woman running for president, isn't the NAACP the national advancement, or what do they call it, of colored people?
National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Yeah, colored people. So how is colored a slur now? That's what we got to. I
Isn't
mean,
that
I
what
don't.
DEI is supposed to be, providing advantageous opportunities for people of color?
Yeah. So what are we doing right now? I mean, I
Do you,
don't use the term colored.
do you
You know,
think maybe the triggering came because of the way that the word was spelled? Maybe,
it might be, but then that's South African stuff.
right?
So I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why they would get so bent out of shape. I think it was because they think that she called herself colored to not associate with black. I think that's what they were getting at. Like she was trying to distance herself from her Africanness by saying she's colored instead of black. But then again, I mean that is really splitting hairs at this point. So she didn't say she was out here a Capel Asian or whatever Tiger Woods said he was. Okay, she said she was colored, man. And last I checked, colored was accepted in the colored handbook. So, yeah, man, I don't walk around here saying I'm colored. I use black by default because, people got to know what the hell I'm talking about, and all this other stuff out here. But, yeah, man, I accept all of those terms. The one I don't like the most, though, is blacks. Don't call me blacks. For whatever reason, that sounds like a slur to me. And whenever I hear black people say us blacks, don't say us blacks. To me, that's no different than saying us N words or something. It sounds like a slur. So yeah, man, I feel like she can keep colored. It's an interesting dynamic that comes up with people that are mixed, especially from a lot of heritage, like how she got going on. Where should they identify? Where should they land? I think for me, I know me personally, I don't even think I accept them all. If you have mixed heritage, mixed lineage, or whatever, I don't care how light your hue is or how dark it is. I still call you a La Familia. I consider you family. Um, I think that they experience abroad a number of people calling their blackness or their whateverness under question, which is why a lot of these people struggle with identity problems, and they feel like they have to put on or be another way or just completely abandon. I feel like a lot of these people that do grow up with mixed heritage, they do have a rough way of going about life. So and they didn't choose to be in that predicament. So if one of them did come up a particular way, where they do have mixed heritage and they do decide to lean on one side of the fence versus the other, I don't necessarily fault them for that per se. I think that's more of a social construct that got into their brain, and then they found a way to either go on one side or the other. So for some people, if they're willing to acknowledge it, like her, where she's like, "Hey, look, I got all of this stuff going on, but I consider myself a black or a colored woman." To me, that checks off all my lists. To me, that's past the sniff test. So I don't have any problem with how she calls herself. She seems to be proud of who she is, so I'm down with that. So, what are your thoughts on just the whole black versus colored dynamic and what Tyler had to say about it? What are your thoughts, bro?
Um. So yeah, I don't. Race is a cultural construct.
Mm-hmm.
That race is a cultural construct. So it doesn't really matter what she identifies as. It's like in professional sports when they say a player can't determine their value, the market does.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're not a $60 million player if no team is willing to give that to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if a team is willing to pay you that, then that's your value. You're a $60 million player. I don't think a person's efforts to identify their heritage in a more defined way,
Mm-hmm.
that's them doing that for themselves. But how you experience the world is what mostly determines who you are. So she can specifically identify as all of that stuff all she wants. But whether if she's in America, I know her experiences are going to be the same as mine.
Mm-hmm.
So in effect, that makes you a black woman, a
Mm-hmm.
black person. And to her credit, she didn't disavow that.
Right.
She said, I can be both. She said, I'm being both. And what she's doing by being both is acknowledging her actual heritage, but also acknowledging the bucket that she falls into when it comes to the cultural construct.
Correct.
So I don't think that I personally don't have a problem with that,
Mm-hmm.
because like if I were to do an ancestry or a 23andMe and I found out that I was, that I had heritage in Zimbabwe, for example, I at that point, because of that form of self discovery, I reserve the right to say I have Zimbabwean roots, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a black man. Like it's both. Like in terms of the cultural construct, especially in the West, I'm just a black person. I'm in that bucket. That is my census designation.
Mm-hmm.
If I fill out my form to vote, or if I'm applying for a job, there is no bubble for Zimbabwe. There's a bubble for I elect to not answer or black. Those are my two. Those are my two choices.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of that particular aspect of the identification, it is what it is. So why people would get bent out of shape from that is something that I don't understand. But like you, I'm inclined to believe that people who would get triggered by that are taking it as a form of her distancing herself from being black.
Correct.
And that to me is lazy logic, because at that point, essentially what you're saying is you are against anyone who chooses to do a deep dive on what their actual heritage is, because we all have that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has that. So the same people who take issue with her using the word colored they themselves have a heritage, which, if they were to discover it, would enable them to identify as something other than just being run of the mill black. And if they chose to do that, how fair would it be for others to criticize them for doing so? I feel like that would be unreasonable.
Agreed.
But that's what we got going on in the world, man, where everything is just identity something. It's exhausting. I'm exhausted by it, honestly. Like everything has to be something. So, a person can't freely get online and say, whatever she said she was. What did she say she was?
Irish,
Yeah,
Zulu.
Irish and all of this other stuff that she said. Yeah, Black, Zulu, Irish, Mauritian, Indian. Like, so what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's exhausting. People can't even do that without getting called out for being some kind of, I guess, what are they saying? She's a self hater or whatever.
Probably would have given word.
Look, man, this,
Hey,
this,
man.
yeah, this to me is a byproduct of most people who go their entire lives electing to not engage in a self-discovery of their original heritage.
Mhm.
Everybody has an original heritage. Everybody. Some people elect to figure out what that is, and some people don't. Well, most people don't. And those who do elect to discover that, they have the right to identify however they choose. And if they at least can acknowledge that from a social standpoint, they are residing within the confines of what constitutes black, specifically in the West, specifically in America, I don't see anything wrong with them also saying, but in terms of my heritage, this is how I identify myself. And I just don't get why people would be bent out of shape about that. But I also believe that people look for any and every excuse to be mad about anything. If people ain't upset about something, then something's wrong. So I'm also not shocked by that because I don't think people are truly happy unless they're mad.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, let's find the thing to be offended about. Even if it's this little girl here, this young lady rather, saying that she has these roots that she identifies as, but she also says she's black. I don't get what the hoopla is.
Yeah, man. I don't know either, man. Internet outrage is something we cover a lot here. Um, and a lot of it's fake. A lot of it's fake outrage because there's hypocrisy somewhere laced in their rage. And in this one, I was being comical, but yeah, man. Some people would say, "Oh, I got honored by the NAACP. I feel so honored." If NAACP gave them an award, but it literally has colored in their thing, and they literally gave P Valley an award. So if you feel like you're on the same plateau as a P Valley or Ghost Chapter 7, then then pat yourself on the back. But if you
And
got
they,
an
they'd
award,
also they'd
go ahead.
also they'd also be very proud if they were identified as the first person of color to do something.
Exactly.
Like
And
if you work at your corporate job and you became the first ever non-white VP,
Mhm.
and people were recognizing you as the first ever person of color to be VP in this company,
Yeah.
you look at that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, you would put that on your damn resume. You would put that on your damn obituary. I was the first person of color to work at Circle K. And you'll be so happy about that crap. So my whole thing is that these people out here that's getting so upset and want to sling mud, you know what I'm saying? Just take an inventory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because this word color gets thrown around a lot. I don't like it personally. I don't like it either. You know what I'm saying? I don't go around calling myself a COP. There's people out here that do that as a COP. I said, what's a COP? You know what I'm saying? Or a POC or whatever they call a person of color. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person of anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm me, damn it. And so so all of these labels, man, like you said, all these senses diagnostics. You know what I'm saying? But you can call bro, you call yourself Zimbabwean if you want, man. ISIS gonna come get your ass. They was like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? With your paperwork. You was like, paperwork. You know what I'm saying? I was born here. It was like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all be safe out here, man. you know what I'm saying? I know some people that's that's got African friends and families out here, man. Y'all be safe with all that ICE stuff. But with all of this stuff, man, again, the internet fake outrage strikes again.
Yeah.
I'll be one of the first people out here to call somebody out for being wrong or self-hating. Just go watch our Serena Williams video, not the recent one we did, but the one we did where her skin bleaching was being called into question. I'll let them have it if I feel like they're actually being weird. But in this situation here, I think this is just how they talk culturally over there. I think color would be no different than saying I'm mixed over here.
Yeah.
So let the girl do her thing and just stop hating. You know what I'm saying? And I'm no internet caper. I ain't out here caping for nobody. You know what I'm saying? This just to me don't make sense. So y'all let the girl do her thing and be colored on her own. Damn.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. I don't see what the big deal is. There was nothing obviously offensive about anything that she said to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that strikes conversation, or that will be interpreted as, or that would be, you know, taken in as like a polarizing thing to say, I don't get that. She literally said, I acknowledge both my heritage and like my cultural bucket. Essentially, that's what she said. And I just don't get that. I really don't. But
Person of color. Yeah, man, don't call me that, man.
bro, yeah, but that's a very good point that you bring up too, because that people would be proud about that.
They would.
They would. Yeah.
That's a badge of honor.
Yeah, they would. So yeah, I do think that that's a form of hypocrisy. But I also believe that most people don't even realize that that is a form of hypocrisy. You know, I don't even think that they realize that that is hypocritical. So
man.
hey, listen, man. Shouts out to Tyla. I know she's pretty popular among the Gen Zers and all of the young people. She makes these songs that get played a lot. I know the ladies, especially, like a lot of her music. Especially the street women. They get a kick out of a lot of Tyla songs.
Hysterical.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that video that we did with the chick who got fired from her job on Alaskan Airways.
Yeah, that was a Tyla song.
Yeah, that was a Tyla song. The song that she had in her Instagram video, where she's not busting it wide open, but busting it wide open. Yeah. Where she was showing all of the cheeks. Yeah, that's a Tyla song. So,
okay.
Shouts out to Tyla, man. Don't let them get you down over this. This is a silly conversation. It's just fake internet outrage, like Dogon said. It ain't nothing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh well, on to the next one, man. That is going to do it for today's stream. That is going to do it for today's video. Shouts out to everybody who was tuned in on the chat. I am JV Wins, and that, of course, is Dogon as coming to you live in effect over here on YouTube. We appreciate all the love and support that we continue to get here in this little corner of the internet of ours. Closing things out, I'm going to go ahead and say, as I always like to do, check us out on Spotify. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Amazon Podcasts. We are available in podcast form, man. We are there. Also, we are on Instagram at Conapproach, CONAPPROACH, and you can find me on Instagram as well at JV Wins. If you have not already done so, and you are so inclined to do so, hit that like button, hit subscribe button. Let us know what you think about the commentary in this or any other video. As I always like to say, people, don't be a group thinker. Have a mind of your own. Think for yourself. Shouts out to Tyler Hero for winning the 3-point contest. Yeah. And until next time, we will catch you guys on the next video.
Skr. And the name is Dogon SS. And you can find me on Instagram at Dogon_SS, on YouTube, DraftKings, FanDuel, all right, MySpace.
But not with NBA though. Not with NBA.
Not with NBA.com. I don't mess around with those people. I have no login with those people. But you can find me everywhere else though. All right. And as I say on every pod, guys, all right, don't be too high, don't be too low. Keep it calm, keep it chill, keep it fluid. And don't let anybody get you off your pivot. And we greatly appreciate you guys hitting that like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Consciously leave a comment. All right, do more than approach the like button. You know what I'm saying? And subscribe on over here, man. We do this every Tuesday. And join us in the chat, man. Kick some fodder around. You know what I'm saying? We'd love to hear y'all's feedback on either the live stream or the individual videos. So until the next time, our people, more rings than Robert Ory. We're going to catch y'all in the next episode.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. We certainly appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. Until next time, we are signing off. We will see you later. Peace. Hey, ladies, stay away from the BBLs.
Oh, yeah. Take them discipline shots, though. Hell yeah. I love that. We need more of that in the game.